I'm going to camps.
Go.
Hello, everyone. How you doing? How's it going? It's going. Welcome back. Strange Aeons is back tonight. We're starting book 4, which is called what was it called? I think it was Whisper Out of Time. Book 4 of Strange Aeons. Continuing tonight, episode 1. Welcome back. As always, our lovely crew of adventurers have returned for our Monday night game. We got Scott, we got Jared, we got Braden, we got Adam, aka at Savage Bear Podcast. Check it out on all good podcasting apps. So we're back. Where should we start? Oh, Arturius, how you doing? Risky Beat, welcome back. Good to see us. So where we last left off, having saved a grateful Yellow King from the Moon Beast prison, you returned him to the desert caravanserai, where he then agreed to lead you to the Mad Poet. Now that you've gone out and gathered the list of esoteric items to appease the Mad Poet, he led you on a day-long walk across the desert, for you happened upon an oasis with a small hut nearby. Emerging from the hut was the Mad Poet himself, one of the most powerful beings in all of the Dreamlands, Abdul Al-Hazred. Upon presenting him with the gifts and the complete list of gifts that Count Lals had supposedly once presented to him, he was pleased, and he allowed you to gaze upon his copy of the Necronomicon. Upon gazing through its pages, each of you found some sort of epiphany, having gazed upon it, and you each gained a fairly decent ability score bump. Before he showed you to gaze upon your reflections in the oasis. Peering into the deep, you found that your memories came pouring back to your minds, revealing that Count Lals had once brought you here to the oasis. And in an effort to glean a glance of the Necronomicon like you just had got, he had sacrificed the 4 of your minds to the Mad Poet in exchange for this boon, drugging each of your Dreamland's bodies and kicking you forwards into the oasis, where, paralyzed by the cocktail of drugs he had given you, you drowned. Reawakening back in the material plane in a catatonic state, where he had then committed the 4 of you to Briarstone Asylum, where you awoke so long ago at the start of the campaign. The Mad Poet revealed that it appeared that Lals was traveling to a lost city called Naruzavan in order to facilitate the transfer of the world of Galarion into the lost city of Carcosa via the Standing Stones, also known as the Star Stellae. 3 of them you had seen in the town of Thrushmoor. Supposedly another set contained at this city of Naruzavan, where Laos was now headed. On his, who knows how far ahead of you, moving down the Selin Passage towards the city of Cathir, although he was intending to stop in the Talden city, port city of Casimir along the way to visit an old colleague of his by the name of Miaknan Mun. The Mad Poet also revealed that the copy of the Necronomicon that he allowed you to gaze upon in the Dreamlands was unreadable to mortal minds, and that the only way for a mortal to gaze upon the pages of the Necronomicon was to visit its material plane counterpart, held in a museum known as the Mysterium in the city of Cathir, which is Laus's destination, and now also yours, along with the stop in Casimir along the way. So, waking... Oh, sorry, one more thing. Briefly, while still in the Dreamlands, once you'd regained your memories, you heard a disembodied voice in each of the 4 of your heads. A strange clicking sound, almost like some sort of broken radio frequency inside your heads, and a voice that muttered a single line. With the return of your memories, you are now complete. But in order to survive, you must find me. Upon hearing the voice, you had a realization. You'd heard this voice once before, inside your head. Very briefly, as it muttered just 2 words. Wake up. During your very first dream at the start of this adventure, where you were being butchered by the Tatterman and were then awakened in the basement of the asylum. You'd heard this voice once before at that time. So, the 4 of you have awoken on board the Selin Starling. On the map, we are roughly around here, heading towards the entrance to the Selin Passage. So it's still a long journey. You have about 3 months travel ahead of you before you reach Casimir. And Skywyn is intending to make a brief stop in the Razmiran city of Jur, just inside the Glass River as you enter the Selin Passage, although this said stop is about 2 weeks away still. With this in mind, so you have about 2 weeks until the stop in Jur, and then a further 3 months of voyaging down the passage after that. Is there anything you would like to do in this time, the first 2 weeks?
Gideon is not touching a single book.
I am going to do the exact opposite. I'm going to try and find like an empty notebook and write down as many of my previous thoughts, or my memories as possible.
Yeah, I'll do actually kind of something similar, but more on the everything that I discovered about finding my father. I'm gonna write that down as I remember it, so that I have a record to follow in case I lose it again.
If we'll pitch in with your efforts to reconstruct your story every now and then, Balthus, if she
Awesome.
remembers a detail here and there.
Yeah.
But other than that, she's probably not doing much. Hating being on a ship.
Yeah, Gideon's very reclusive. He does not talk to any of you unless he has to, and that's mainly like if he bumps into you, pretty much. He's gonna be very, very reclusive. Avoiding, yeah. He every time he sees Heimlich, like looking at those books, he just kind of like stares for a moment until somebody notices and then walks off.
Alright.
Ava wouldn't know that. Yeah, shouldn't do anything about that. She probably wouldn't even notice.
Is there any discussion between the four of you about the revelation of your regained memories?
How much are the others likely to know about our past? Like, how much time do we spend together again before this happened?
So you each, regarding your relationship with each other, the four of you are aware that you all met in the employ of Count Hazelton Lowes roughly, say, 2 years ago.
I think the others would know that I have, often mentioned my research, and they've seen, different, cult and ritualistic kind of, symbologies in, like, a lot of my my notebooks and drawings, along with biology and like anatomy kind of documents as well. So I think they, have a general understanding about, my interest with other world kinds of things, and a lot of things that would be in line with what the Count was after as well. But
May I ask a question about your research?
mhm.
What was it? Were you trying to discover something, or were you trying to find something, or just research biology?
Bring humanity closer to perfection.
Ooh.
Mm.
Gideon would have helped you a little bit with it. He would have shared some information with you that he had learnt over his travels from studying ancient texts and
Excellent.
ancient information. But he was never privy to where he found the information from. But he had a keen eye for knowing where some hard to find documents, or no, not hard to find documents, but hard to find subjects and where to look for them. So he would have assisted you doing that.
Excellent.
Hmm.
I think I would have also quite repeatedly as well asked if you wanted assistance with repairing or reconstructing your face.
No. He would have, first time it was mentioned, he would just say flat out no, and there would have been like a tone behind it. You, like, not to ask again.
Yep.
Yeah, so Gideon at some point during this, maybe we were having dinner, and it's been like, I don't know, maybe a week of silence from him. Maybe mid eating some kind of crusty fish. Just pipes up. We should burn the books.
Could we not just hide them somewhere?
Dispose of them.
Are you referring to the books that we received from the Mad Poet, or just all the books?
I'm talking about Laos's collection.
That would be a waste of great resource. That is not what we should do.
We should not. The
Go
way
on with them.
that we got them, the way that we assessed those documents, that information. It's not right. Not right at all. Sorry, I have to find the Gideon voice. Not right at all.
This is invaluable research. These books can lead us to Zervay. We know more because of these books, and if without them, we would not know anything at all. This is the only reason we have our old memories back.
We ruined lives. Like he thumps the desk, just like we ruined lives. I tortured, slayed, and maimed people for that information.
Their sacrifice would be in vain if we destroyed the books.
The sacrifice wasn't necessary. He's getting quite worked up about this. Just...
The books stay. Even like get up and kind of go back to the room and start trying to go back to the room unless you're trying to stop me.
He kind of just like just takes little effect and just like looks at his hands and it's just the blood that is on my hands. I wish I never got my memories back.
What if we only got rid of a quarter of the books? Because you're only a quarter responsible. The blood is on all of our hands. So a quarter of the books would represent your guilt.
Kind of
Again,
thinks about
do whatever you want with them. Don't care.
So half the books then. I mean, I will live with my guilt.
I have lived a long, long, torturous life. He's like looking at his hands. Is just like many have suffered at my doing. Many have suffered for foolish means. The scars I wear are little to show for what I have done for others. It's just lost for words, just like staring at his hands. 75 long years. 65 I served him. And I had no idea until yesterday the trauma that was caused on so many lives, innocent lives. And he looks up at you two at this point. You can see like he's tears are running down his face, like he is distraught. Like what I did to myself, and he points at the scar and at his young skin. I did this to carry on my work. But it's not. I half want to go back into that water. And left to... I was precious about my mind before, but I'm at a point now that I think I just want to lose it.
I mean, isn't it better to try to rectify the wrongs of your past and make amends now by stopping the person that you worked for and did this to you and everyone else?
Yeah.
That's what I was going to try and say, but he said it better.
There is no way to kill him. And the access I would need, they know that I left. They know of me. I have a reputation. There's no way I can hide properly. And to get to him, I will not be able to end him. And even if I could, he thinks he's a god. I'm not speaking of the Count. I served for the Church of Rasmir. In Resmin.
Right.
He thinks himself as a god. And I helped him, well, not him directly, but his influence over people become true. Forced people under his faith, under fear of mutilation, burning. So many cities I helped set cities, towns, villages I helped set ablaze. Because I found one, and he sticks out like a finger in the air, just one person who did not believe. Thousands of lives. 50 long years I served. And then I maimed myself for 50 more. I don't know how to live with it.
Step by step. Do one better thing every day that you did not do the last.
Can it change the actions of your past? But, like Arthur said, you can change what you do in the future. It might not atone for any wrongs, but at least you know you've done some good.
But what good? Like, Count Lao, whatever he has done, it might not be enough. I still want, if one part of me feels better after we deal with whatever we do with Count Lao, then maybe it's better, but I must warn you, we may not be safe when we get deeper into the port. I'm not sure if they came looking for me. I'm not sure if they know that I'm still alive, but if they do, I may bring more onto this party than we already have. I might be more of a threat than an accomplice. And yes.
Well, the least we can do is try anyway. It's all we can do at this point.
I'll go through my book and see if I can find anything to assist in hiding my identity, at least while we're in the city, while we're in port. If not, we might have to find something to change of me and how I look.
Some way to disguise you.
Some way.
Are they really all that dangerous?
The church?
Yes,
You have no idea.
obviously.
The ounce of non-belief, the ounce of maybe thinking about or discussing other gods, other ideals. They'll come to your home. Or I would have come to your home, found everything related, smashed it, broke it, we would have had you pulled out into the town square, set ablaze on a stake as a warning and a sacrifice to him. I found those people. Mr. Love suffered under me. I don't know how I can get this back. I'm sorry. And he just stands up and maybe moves to the front of the ship. Ooh,
I
I
think
got
you might
emotional
need
there.
some alone time. Let's maybe just put the books away for the next few days while he reconciles with himself a bit.
Might be a good idea.
Alright, so the next week or so passes uneventfully as you drift into the mouth of the Glass River and on the borders of Razmira. The weather changes with the day. Heavy fog rolls in and you slowly drift upriver as Skywind, the captain, carefully guides the barge around rock and floating hazards. It rains one day, it's sunny the next. On a misty morning, around 7 days later, the deck bell rings. As the four of you emerge from your cabin, you see a few of the sailors over at the edge of the boat, gazing up ahead. You can see the city of Zur and its small port as you round the river's corner. The river at this point is quite wide. You see several barges either moored or coming and going. The majority of them appear to be part of the Razmiran Armada. As the Selen Starling drifts towards Zur's docks, you pass by closely of one of these Razmiran barges, and you see masked men aboard, each of them wearing dark-colored robes and what appear to be silver, almost featureless masks over their faces underneath the hoods, gazing silently, some of them brandishing weapons, watching from the edge of their barge. One of them shouts out in a muffled tone underneath his mask, "What is your business here? Prepare to be boarded." Not necessary," Skywind yells back to him. "We'll pay our tithe at the dock. No trouble. Be sure that you do." The barge continues to drift towards the dock. "Hey, that was a close one." Skywind walks
Any
down.
lot?
"Listen, this is dangerous here. Best that I go ashore alone. I'll pick up the supplies we need and come back. The four of you, stay on board with the crew."
Need to be telling me twice? Doesn't look friendly at all.
Selen Starling drifts into the dock. It rolls up. The long rope is thrown around and it's fastened. Skywin collects a few crates and has the sailors drag them up on deck, and she takes a few of the sailors with her. Alright, I won't be long. So let's bring up, we haven't seen Skywin's picture for a while. There we go.
Beautiful halfling.
She walks up the dock and disappears among the city. The city itself, fairly large beyond the dock, with large masonry stone walls surrounding it. All of its buildings sort of very large, boxy, and featureless. Each one like a small mini fortress. And you spot gangs of masked men moving around the streets, coming and going, and the odd non-Rasmiran boat coming in and conducting business, and you see tith takers marching along the docks, collecting fees from each of the captains. You see Skywin get confronted by a dockmaster as she moves up, another masked man, and see him holding like a large baton and sort of whacking it into one of his other hands as she presents him with a leather bag jingling with gold on the inside, hands it over to him. See a few of the men sort of stare over towards the Cell and Starling. A few of them make eye contact with the four of you, stare for a few seconds before moving away. Skywin.
Gideon,
Sorry, go on.
Sorry, Gideon. How similar is your like partial face covering compared to like their masks?
What do you mean partial face covering?
Do you not have like a partial face covering for your like little mouth thing?
No,
No.
He wears his whole
It's
with
open
pride.
to the world. Hence why I was spitting out sand when we got stuck in the desert with the wind. No, Gideon's face. He's like literally. So he's. I suppose we never really come up really, but he's just got this basically hole in his cheek where you can see missing teeth, which have fallen out, and the tip of his nose is just bone into cartilage.
Yep.
And I think when we start getting close to the dock, he might have stepped inside, just to make sure. Like if he, especially after one of the goons started talking to people on the boat, I think he would have tried to disappear inside just a little bit, maybe within earshot, maybe just within inside the door from you guys. But yeah.
So how long are we supposed to be staying here at on dock?
Just like as soon as Skywin returns, you're gonna leave.
Yeah, I don't think I even get off the boat.
I do not recommend it.
Yeah.
Not at all.
Was there anything that we needed to collect when we got to shore at any point? I mean, I think we've like healed ourselves enough. Was there anything else?
None of us
So-
were suffering from any kind of effects. Where
Didn't
we
need to see any priests or anything, no.
Okay, all good.
Thanks,
do not
Lloyd.
want to see a priest here. But might have been worth us somehow getting 1,000. Do we? How much? I don't think we got that much cash on us. I think all of it's in the Dreamlands, I believe.
No, other way around. So we spent it all in the Dreamlands, but we had real cash. So
Okay.
I currently
'Cause-
still have real world currency 112 platinum.
Okay, because I can now create a extraction of restoration. So if we wanted to, we could have that on standby. So if we do ever get a really bad hit like we did last time with one of us suffering from a wisdom drain, we could just give her the money to try and get that kind of item here. Get a diamond worth 1,000 gold pieces so we can crush it up and use that for an extract if need be.
Okay.
Just something throwing out there that we could potentially do.
Yeah. I mean, the whole point here is like we do have a lot of real world currency as well. If we think it's safe to go here and try and buy things, but if you just want to stay on board, then it's a different thing. Because we obviously know, or I left, but would I have known that you were, heavily involved with this kind of stuff?
No. Like, that was the first time he's
Alright,
opened
sweet.
up
Well, I have
about
no
it.
idea.
He stayed completely silent about his stuff before that lunch, that dinner a week ago. Whether or not you overheard it after you walked off, that's up
I've
to
just
you.
been protecting the books.
Yeah, he kept that very close to his heart.
Yep, cool. Well, there's nothing I want on land, so I wouldn't bring it up.
That's right. We'll leave it be.
Alright, cool. So Skywind is gone almost 2 hours. You see her coming back down the dock, sailors in tow. Crates now full of supplies to transfer back aboard the Cell and Starwind. Alright, was there any trouble?
None. We were fine.
Nope. Didn't even move.
Good. I half expected them to come back. Try and shake us down again. Come on, let's cast off. Help the lads get the crates aboard.
Yeah, if we'll get to work helping load the ship, I guess. Get out of here faster.
Yeah, I'll also assist.
Yeah, I'll help with what I can.
Gideon will try and find a cloak to throw on, and just to kind of like cover his face with the hood. But once the gear's on deck, he'll then help it go out back. But he's going to try and hide himself as best he can from any of the gentlemen in cloaks and masks.
Alright, so you get the crates aboard. Post haste, the rope is the mooring rope is withdrawn and the barge pushes off again.
I'm gonna watch just to see if anyone is taking a greater interest in the ship. You gonna do a perception check here or something?
Yeah,
or...
go for it.
Oof, 14.
You don't really notice. It seems like most Rasmirans that the mask guys passing by all seem to scrutinize you, but they just seem to be scrutinizing everyone. The boat takes off. You head downriver. Eventually, the city of Jur passes out of sight. You pass down the West Selen River a few miles. Around 20 minutes, maybe half an hour later, up ahead, the river, you spot another of these Rasmiran faith barges coming towards you. Sort of a very jagged in shape, with sort of a golden, sort of gold-plated bow, and it slowly rolls towards you, and you notice that it seems to be on a sort of interception course. From the rudder control at the back, Skywind pipes up. Oh, this doesn't look good. Everyone behave yourselves. And I just need to grab something from behind me real quick.
Go for it. Has he got a mask?
You must.
As the barge pulls up within yelling distance, you see a small retinue of masked Rasmiran priests aboard. They look like this. All brandishing weapons. One of them yells off the bow. Anchor yourselves! We're coming aboard! Well, you heard him, lads. Drop the anchor. The sailors drop anchor overboard, and with a groan, the sullen Starling comes to a stop. The barge begins to slowly make its way over.
I'm gonna come up from downstairs, like noticing the the drop anchor.
Yeah, I'll follow a bit behind.
Great trouble.
What is these freaks doing? How close are they?
They're like pulling up beside to board by the looks of it.
How many? Just as a side note here, how many books did we have? Again, was it like 2 crates worth? It was like some silly amount of books.
It's just like a large trunk of books.
Okay. Well, as many of the books as I possibly could have fit into the bag of holding, like to hide them from Gideon, I would have done that.
I like that.
You could probably fit the entire trunk in there.
Well, if he doesn't need to do that, I might cast. If he hasn't gotten all the books in there, I'm gonna cast invisibility on the trunk.
Cool. You, as the Rasmira barge pulls up beside, it drops anchor as well, and then a plank is laid. And the priests start marching over. One of them, a sort of large hulking man underneath the robe, steps up to the front. Skywind sort of gestures turns around to the 4 of you. Can I count on you to back me up here if things turn sour?
Certainly.
Not a worry.
I'd rather
Just
it didn't
give us
come
a
to
signal.
that. There's more of them than there is of us. Maybe we can negotiate with them.
If need be, I can talk to them. But let's see what their plans are.
Gideon, the hulking frame of the man sort of pushing forwards among the priests has a very distinct gait to his walk. This seems familiar. You can't put a finger on where it is until he speaks up underneath his mask. A familiar voice that you've heard before.
Well, 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 what do we have here? We're passing through Rasmiran territory without paying our tithe, are we? Captain? Who's the captain here?
Well, that would be me, sir.
Well, as is the custom in Rasmir, we're going to have to, I think, strip this ship of anything valuable. Seems like a fair tithe to me. What do we think, boys?
The priests sort of like fan out behind him, begin sort of brandishing their weapons.
Now, do not resist. Nobody need be hurt here. We will take our tithe and we will be gone.
I think you'll find that we have already paid the tithe back at stock.
I'm like, kind of like just looks at you and shakes his head.
No, he's right. We paid our tithes. We docked it, sir. We paid it to the dockmaster there.
Well, how do I know you're not lying and you simply do not pass by, sir? Either way, you still need to pay your leaving tithe if you're leaving Rasmiran waters.
Both have been paid, I believe. There was a large sack of gold.
Is that so? Surely if
This
that
is
was
correct.
the tithe you paid, then there must surely be more gold on board. And in greater number.
But if the tithe has been paid, then we would not owe you any more, and it would be best if we were on our way.
Roll a diplomacy check,
I
boy.
mean, oh, whopping 3.
It is not for you, a non-believer, to decide what the tithe is. If I decide that the tithe need be taken, then it will.
Gideon, at this point, you realize who it is underneath the mask. Is a particularly vicious bully of a Razmiri priest named Hinks Argup. And you're fully aware that even if they strip the Selen Starling of everything that is valuable on board, they'll probably still kill everybody regardless and scuttle the boat.
I try and repeat, under my breath, as best I can, I want to say, we're not leaving here without a fight. We either let them do what they're doing, catch them unawares, where the majority of their ship is on our decks, or we take them now.
How loud were you saying that for everyone?
Yeah, how loud were you saying that?
I want to.
Oh, who are you
I
saying
can
it
try.
to?
I was trying to say it calmly, maybe to the 3 around me. He's still trying to like hide himself behind this cloak that he's wearing, but mainly to the party.
You're
just wanna
saying... Did you say out loud, we take them now?
I say we can either wait for them to come on deck, start searching, or take them.
They're
now.
on deck, aren't they?
But searching. I don't think we should have this discussion like this now. But
Oh, wait until they split up, you mean?
wait until they start walking around deck, then they're split up, they're not in together, and then take them on.
Roll a stealth check, Gideon.
I was never good at these. Where is my stealth? +1. Come on. A 4.
You see Hink's head sort of turn, his masked face turn in your direction as you're whispering to the others. He sort of loudly walks over in your direction, like his featureless masked face just sort of like leans in close to yours, and you see his eyes through the slits on it.
I'm sorry, do we have something to say here?
Gideon just like looks up at him directly into his eyes. Friend, it's been a while.
Oh, I don't believe I know you, although I recognize the voice.
Perhaps you met. Perhaps it was preferred the accident. But you remember me. I think it's in your best interest for you to recall why you remember me.
He reaches an arm forwards to like pull your hood off.
Oh no! Gideon will before you we'll pull it back and allow him to see me.
Roll an intimidation check for me.
-1. Let's do it. Ooh. It's an 11, but you can add more on for my reputation if you wish. No pressure. We have business.
He's sort of at the side of your face. You notice like a slight flinch on his frame. He leans forward again.
Ah, you. I thought you had simply passed into legend.
No, just a mission far away. and I bring back news which they wish to hear. And if they find out that you have hindered our travel into these lands so that the church may not receive the information that I was sent to found, you know what will occur. You know what would happen to you. That power, that quantity of gold I'm sure you're sitting on would all disappear. Now I know that you wish to skirt these waters and control these waterways, but if you do not let us go, then you are a heretic, my friend. A betrayer to the lands. And we know what they do to them. So tell me, do you wish to keep your power? Do you wish to keep your gold? Because one word, one letter about this stoppage will bring all you and your men down. And anyone associated with you will face the same fate as you. It's a sacrifice, a demonstration of power.
He sort of leans back out. Roll a perception check for me, Gideon.
Why is it all wisdom based? 12. He's just
I think because he's like leaning in at like whisper range while you're making this, and you hear like the very briefest little gasp from inside the mask, just like he sort of leans back out. And he like sheathes the giant blade that he's carrying and turns back around to the rest of the priests.
Yes, oh, I do recall there was a tithe has already been paid for this particular barge.
Thank you.
You can go about your business.
Thank you very much. I will pass on compliments to the sect so that they may find out of your great service. And he gives him a nod.
He turns around. The priests behind him all march back across the gangplank. And before Hinks steps aboard the plank, he sort of turns around towards you one last time.
It is good to see you back amongst our number, Viper.
It's nice to be back here, to serve him in every way that I can. And he'll do a bow.
Gangplank's pulled up, and the barge raises its anchor and then sails past, with the priests all like staring intently as they push off downriver again.
I'm sorry, what was that? Did he call you Viper?
A name I've not heard of in years.
Right.
My apologies, everyone. But
Apologies?
our fate would have been worse, I'm telling you.
Yes, what you're apologizing for? You seem to have gotten us out of quite a bit of a pickle.
But at the same time, rumors will go around that I am now back here. This may have saved us from this fate, but painted a larger target on our backs. Not something I wanted to bring upon this ship. Misfortune that it might bring. He turns to Aether at
It's
this
a bit
point.
late for that.
Aether,
Cody.
if they catch me, kill me. I do not wish to be a thrall to them, and they will make it so.
It'll be done.
He puts a hand on your shoulder and just gives you a nod. Right. Ooh, I've got goosebumps. Thank you, Josh. That was awesome.
Alright, so the rest of the voyage continues fairly uneventfully. There's a few encounters here and there. I'm just gonna roll a D100 real quick.
No reason at all.
There you go.
No reason. Yeah.
Okay.
Is it the treasure chart? I'll be happy with that. Just randomly.
Around-
Oh look, there's a sort of +3.
around-
floating.
Around 2.5 weeks later, just as you're leaving the northern part of the Selene Passage to turn south, the barge is attacked by a giant amoeba, which the four of you valiantly fight off, leaving a large muck aboard the deck. Exactly 3 sailors are consumed by the giant amoeba before you guys could stop it.
Any mad loot?
No, it's an amoeba, so it doesn't have pockets or anything.
Yeah, but it could have assimilated the mad loot.
But other than the amoeba incident, the rest of the
Keep the corpses. We may need them.
the voyage to Casimir goes fairly uneventfully. As you pass through the lands near Keonan, you encounter a few elvish barges sailing past. And very sort of elegant barges, almost like giant swans floating up the river, but armed to the teeth with ballistas and soldiers on board. And you pass through, it sort of turns from swamp around Razmir to sort of rolling plains as you turn south and past Callus Lake, and then forests as you pass by Verduran forests. Before finally the southerly winds begin to bring the smell of salt water and the open ocean up ahead. And one morning, under a golden sunrise on a clear day, you spot the Talden port city of Casimir up ahead. So, Casimir is a city that grew around Talden shipyards. It's the center of construction for the Talden Navy. As you come closer to the city, you see dozens of partially built ships in the shipyards, their curved beams resembling skeletal behemoths sunning themselves on the bank. The city spreads out around this center of industry, and you spot hundreds of Casimir's citizens swarming about in their daily tasks, filling the air with laughter and shouts amid the workyard's din. A city towers at the edges of the Blackwood Swamp. A mouth of rickety buildings grins like rotten teeth around a calm harbour crammed with vessels. A great castle overlooks the bay, proudly flying the flag of Taldor. Yet just beyond the dike that surrounds the city, the swampland gropes outwards, hungrily drawing buildings into its belly. The Selin Starling pulls up into the harbour, passing many of these half-constructed ships or newly constructed ships, and the Talden arsenal all anchored there, bobbing gently under the morning sun. You reach the docks. The mooring rope is thrown down. Skywind approaches the four of you. Well, I'm afraid this is where we part ways. If you're intending to move on to Cathir once your business here is concluded, I'm afraid you'll have to find someone else to voyage with. I'll be heading back north.
Thank you. Thank you for having us. As odd as we have been, randomly passing out inside your room every so often.
Aye, there was a lot of screaming from your cabin.
Yes, we apologize for that, and again,
Groaning?
apologies.
Crying like a baby sometimes.
Oh, yes, and sorry for being so standoffish on some of those other weeks, and not talking to everyone, and apologies for Balthus's stand-up comedy routines that he's practicing. Does anyone else have anything to apologize for?
I've got nothing to apologize for.
Must be a few
Yeah.
other things. Sorry about you losing 3 of your sailors. Spend the best of their families for us. But thank you.
Thank you for saving us from that angler. That's about all I've got to say.
Yes, that too. Yes, no. It was very pretty, but clearly dangerous and pretty. It's been a long, long time. Thank you.
Yes, it's been a strange 3.5 months. But thank you.
Yeah. Telling me.
I feel as though either I wouldn't have survived the voyage without you, or without you we might not have even encountered such strange and wondrous things on the way.
Don't think about it too much. But, feel free, if you get more trouble on that river, to just pass my name. Viper, that is. If you encounter any more issues.
Right, and about your business here in the city, is there anything I can help with? I do know a few
He
people
turns around
here.
to the rest of them.
That could be useful. What would you recommend we do regarding our business here?
Well, it depends what you're after.
So we've come here to find the last place that we know Count Lao would have been.
Well, you know he came here seeking his associate, Miaknan Mun.
Okay. Right, we're here for Miakman.
Miaknan Mun? Can't say I've heard of
In
him.
the right direction here.
I think I know where he may be.
Oh, certainly. All right.
Odd one, but wouldn't know any Jin in the city, would you?
I'm sorry, someone named Jean?
Jin, you know, like
Hey,
rubber
Genie,
lamp thing.
Oh.
Yeah,
you know?
yeah.
Oh, no, I do know what you mean. Oh, there is a rather nice tavern. You could probably find some gin there.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks. I'll give it a look. I probably need that.
What is the name of this tavern?
It would help with a little bit of directions and asking locals if we get lost where we would be heading. I hope it has an excellent name.
More importantly, if there is a place that you can recommend we perhaps can get to Casimir, is there someone you would recommend taking us?
You mean
Any names you trust?
you mean Kathia?
See.
Kittia.
Yeah, Cathia, sorry, because we're in Casimir now.
Yeah. I'm afraid not. I mean, just ask around at the docks. It's not much further to Cathir. It's across the inner sea a little. I'm sure there'll be traders going that way. We're fishermen.
It's not far. I'm sure we can find something. But no names that you can think of that we should, take service from before anyone else.
Not that I can think of.
That's fine. It's fine. Thank you for all your help.
You can always check in with the harbour master here. I wouldn't exactly call him a friend. More of an acquaintance. His name's Braren Dalvos.
Burn Davos.
If you want to find a nice place for a drink, you can check out the Sceptered House.
The Sceptered House.
You may-
Septic?
Sceptered.
Oh, Sceptered. Sorry.
You may bump into a strange little gnome there by the name of Etham. Etham Baylor. He designed me ship.
Bello. Ooh. Excellent. Alright, well, maybe we'll head over there and have a word. Any messages you wish passed on?
Not at
Anything
all,
Fixed?
but he
No-
may
no
know.
issues
He
with
knows a
ship.
few people around town. They've got a strange little club. Hang out together a lot.
What's the name of this club?
I don't know. The Knights of Extraordinary something. I can't remember. They're not actually knights at all. It's a bunch of wankers that sit around at the tavern.
Yes. Alright, well, thank you so much for that. And for the travels and the 3.5 months, and thank you. Gideon will heft his small backpack and trot on off onto the docks. Feeling for the first time in 3.5 months, solid ground. Ooh.
Yeah, I think Ava's gonna hop off and kiss the dirt.
I think I'll fall over.
I
Just
make a
trying to
snow
compensate.
angel, but of dirt.
Dirt angel.
Yes.
So, Heimlich.
Mm-hmm.
So you don't actually know the location where Miaknan
Okay.
Mun is. Just you know, what the building is that he inhabits, but you don't know where it is.
Right, understand. Alright, well, I guess we'll head over to the Sceptered House. I mean, I think we all deserve a drink. I mean, unless
Hope is
there's
down with
any-
that.
Yeah, boy. What kind of what time of the day is it?
It's early morning at this point.
Sweet.
Like
Yep,
9
gonna
a.m.
Get a feed and a getting a feed, getting an ale.
Yep, sounds good. Pub fed.
See what the snooty's like.
Mm-hmm. Anything that's not fish is good.
Alright, so you ask around to find. Do you want to head to this, the
Sceptered House.
Sceptered House?
Mm-hmm.
Alright.
Oh, what happened to the before we leave as well? I want to just confirm that myself and Gideon will be accredited on
Accredited.
any sort of papers that the two nerds are going to publish.
Yes, they Yes.
Excellent.
Yes.
You don't sound that convincing.
No, they do. They do. I've got because my notes disappeared along with the Foundry World, so I can't even remember what their names were.
Oh,
But
bro.
yes, they agree that you'll be fully credited, and they may even be in touch. They ask for your, where they can write you.
Excellent.
So you ask around, and the location of the Sceptered House is easy enough to find. You make your way over
So
there.
Webron and Gossa. Which two are the
Yes,
humans
that was
from
it.
Taldor?
Yep.
Yep.
So yeah, they know you guys are leaving Casimir pretty soon, and they tell you to, if you're ever back in Casimir again, look them up. So you find the Sceptered House. You see it's a multi-story inn. It's brick construction on the outside. As you enter, you see it's it has cramped, book-filled chambers. And all these rooms seem to be linked by oddly twisting staircases, leaning walls, and strange corners. The building itself seems to be on almost a strange angle, as though subsistence is causing one corner of it to sink into the earth. And as you enter, you're met by a human, a woman with sort of wild blonde, curly hair. Dressed in just like a standard, tavern worker outfit. And she has a very red cheeks, as though under the influence of, several shots of whiskey or something. She sees the four of you enter. Hello there, new faces. I don't believe I've ever seen you before.
We've just read the port. I think we're in desperate need of 4 ales and 4 big breakfasts.
Yes.
Well, this
Open
is a
anything you
fairly
can.
exclusive inn. We don't usually just let strangers in.
I pull out some my coin bag at the moment, and I flicker a gold coin. Is this possible to get a table here?
Roll me a diplomacy check.
God damn it! I'm shitty at fucking diplomacy.
Shouldn't have used charisma
That's a
as your
one.
fucking dump stat.
Hey. Yeah, actually. What do you use as your dump stack, then? Mine was strength and charisma and wisdom.
You can't dump stat all of them.
And I will! Dare you.
Oh, 16.
Well, not bad. She looks almost insulted by the gold coin that you give her, but you see her eyeball like the rest of your coin purse, and it's obviously quite bulky.
I feel like a simple gold piece will not suffice here.
I suppose there's could rustle you up a table for a bit of breakfast, Mr.
What's the love? But you can call me Heimlich.
Heimlich. Ion, come on then through. Take you to the dining room. She leads you through to the dining room. You see it's has dark purple tapestries hanging from brass rods on the walls. A sort of circular shaped window made of thick glass that sort of throws like a blurry, distorted image of the outside as you look through it. Right, and have a seat for you. Now, what can I get you? We're doing roast chicken today with ginger and poached eggs, roast capon and soft cheese, or baked chicken with mustard and soft cheese, or roasted chicken and leek, all variants of chicken, really.
Is
That first one
cheese?
sounded great, but hold the chicken and add bacon.
Is that
Whatever
cheese or was the
variation
last
of
one?
that comes with. Oh, just make it the biggest breakfast you can do. Like, if you need to make like a whole chicken, I don't know. I don't really care. Just your definition of a big breakfast, please.
Yes, please. That for me as well.
Right
That
then,
would be wonderful.
full roast chicken and ginger coming
Whatever.
up.
Sure, yeah.
Sure.
Like, if you
And-
can slap some bacon. I don't know
Yes,
if you have that
Bacon
there.
strips and bacon strips.
And 4 ales, please.
Yes, 3 ales, 1 whiskey.
Very well.
Is there any microbreweries or craft breweries around here that you would recommend? Do you have anything on tap that's
Local.
local?
Oh, where did I put that? There's
Yeah, I mean, now that you've,
extensive
really-
list of Galarian alcohols that I found in one of the books.
Well, I mean, like now you've like elevated this, pub food to like really fancy, gourmet stuff. I'm just like, well, they have to have some sort of microbrewery stuff here.
There it is. I think I found it. Well, we do have a bit of brow brew imported from Numeria. Bit of an acquired taste, but perhaps a gentleman such as yourself might fancy a glass.
That would be wonderful. 4 of those, please.
Coming right up. She ducks out the back. You hear her like murmuring something to the cook. As you glance towards the hallway where you entered, and you see a small, bleached-haired gnome walk past. Kind of a very sort of Albert Einstein style haircut. Sort of has a
Bleached.
large bundle of bleached. A large bundle of rolled up scrolls, like tucked under his arm. Walk past, and he seems to be muttering under his breath. He's saying, "Yeah, 38 foot, and bow to stern." And he just sort of walks past the door and continues. You hear him muttering as he walks up the hallway.
I think we found our gnome.
A gnome?
Yes, the gnome the captain spoke of.
Oh, right.
The shipwright. The one who designed her ship.
Yes, I believe his name was Etham.
Right. I just want
Didn't she
to.
also say that all the people that hung out here were like super boring or eccentric or something? Or
It
both?
did seem a bit eccentric. I just want to clarify, Josh. When you say bleached, do you mean
Like he's
white
suffering
hair,
he's
or-
suffering from bleaching.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Right. Gideon will stand up and follow him. What did we say his name was again? Sorry.
Etham.
Etham Ballo.
You'll wander down the.
Bailo, was it? Bello?
Bala, yeah, it's Baylor.
Ethan Baylor. Yeah.
Uh,
He'll get up and
Alright.
walk towards him down the hallway. Mr. Butler.
You see him at the end of the hallway. He stops in his tracks and turns around to look at you. You sort of like you see him squint, and then he just like turns right and continues walking down the hallway.
We are friends of Skywin Freely.
He's already disappeared in the hallway. He's just
All right.
like he took a right, so you could try and run after him.
Gideon will hobble after him. We are friends of Skywin Freely.
You turn the right hand corner and then like look to the left. Oh, well, you turn the right hand corner, look down the hallway, and you see him like turning left and entering a room. You saw that he glances back like again and just sort of like squints like at you and then like moves into the room.
Gideon not taken up on the social keys, just keeps going. Keeps following.
I'm still sitting at the table waiting for my food.
Hell yeah. Is the ales turn up yet?
I need this big brekkie in and around my tummy.
Also, when I flicked them the gold coin, is that actually not much?
Yeah, they were insulted by that.
They were insulted how little it was.
It
I
seems
was
to be.
like-
Although
I was
this place is weird, but it seems to be like has this air of exclusivity about it.
Right, okay.
You'd be tipping like at least 4, I would think, in my brain, maybe even 5.
Okay.
Like,
but
Bray
normal,
was
though.
like, that's absolutely not enough gold you're tipping, but Aether was like, wow, he tipped a whole gold. That's way too much.
Yeah.
Why is he getting the gold out? Get the silver out, bro.
Yeah, I'm leaving the tipping to everyone else.
I just figured that we're going to a bar or like some sort of pub that we were recommended from a small bar. I assumed it was going to be like pretty cheap, so a gold piece would be enough to get us in.
Nothing.
Wasn't the word esoteric thrown around?
Yes.
Or is
Yes.
that just me?
No, esoteric was said. I think at least once.
So yeah, Gideon will follow suit. And duck his head into that room.
Alright, so you enter what appears to be maybe like a small library. A lot of cramped bookshelves around the room. On a large oak table in the center, you see Etham seems to have dumped all his scrolls. He's got one of them rolled out on the table and seems to be like the blueprint of a ship, and he seems to be scrutinizing it as you walk in.
Gideon would like to look, like kind of walk over, not say anything, but look at the blueprint. And can I do an engineering check to see if I can see any faults?
Ooh, yeah, go ahead.
Is
You're
there
gonna pick
one
the poor
exhaust vent?
man's work apart.
It was only a 16 on the die for a 33.
Is there only one exhaust vent?
Plus 17, baby!
That's ridiculous.
I couldn't raise it all up by a certain amount, so I had to actually put it in other things this time. Do I spot any faults?
You glance at it, and you do notice like a small fault, perhaps like an uneven distribution of weight between two of the masts that would put like a little bit of stress on some of the hull.
Puts his finger on the paper and just points. Just might need to extend that a little bit. Too much strain here, don't you think?
You see, he's like slaps his hands down on the table in front of the plans. His eyes go wide, and he's like inhales deeply. And he looks up at you with like just wide eyes. I have a picture actually. Yeah.
Ooh, I'm excited. Although I always feel bad when I hear about. Oh, poor guy.
You?
Those are some eyebrows.
You are absolutely correct. Thank you for pointing that out.
He sort of grabs a quill.
Fun.
He grabs a quill and begins scribbling like a few notes, like up and down the plans where you pointed it out. As he's looking at it, he's left-handed. He's writing with his quill. He shoots out his right hand without even looking up at you, like in your direction. He's like,
Ethan Baylor.
Pleasure to meet you, Professor Gideon. Shake your hand.
What brings you here to the Sceptered House, Professor Gideon?
Well, share minds with like-minded people such as yourself. Apologies for the hallway before. That I was told that you would in fact be at this establishment by a friend of yours, or if not a client of yours, Skywind Freeling.
Ah, been aboard the Selling
to the ship,
Starling, have we?
Yes, I'm 3.5 long months on the waters. We finally arrived today. This is the first time, and he taps the ground with his foot. I've felt solid ground since we set sail.
But it was a fine barge, no?
Oh, yes.
I do say so
Thick
myself.
And thin. Thick and thin, it led us through. It was an excellent, excellent build. I heard it was one of your designs, in fact.
Yes. So, what business is it that brings you here? Are you a shipwright as well, an engineer, or are you here for other matters?
What do you mean by other matters?
Well, when you said business, I assumed you perhaps wanted a sitting with the Esoteric Knights of Evolvement.
I've heard of this group, and possibly would be, if it is something that you are allowed to allow me and a friend of mine to accompany you to. A meeting of sorts with your friends.
Well, we
Gideon
don't.
is very clearly trying to talk through bullshitting of not really knowing 100% who these guys are, but seems to have landed on a mild gold mine.
I'm sorry, is there someone you wanted to meet in particular?
Yes. Certain someone whose player's mind has again left. Who was it again? I'm really sorry.
Is it Mr. Miaknan Mun? Is that who you're referring to?
Mr. Miakman. It was Mr. Miakman Mun. Mun. He has an associate of mine that he does business with, and I'm keen to talk to this other man, Mr. Miakman.
I've not seen Mun in weeks, maybe months.
Months.
I'm not
Is that peculiar of him?
Not particularly. The other nights come and go. I spend probably the most time here at the Sceptered House. What business do you have with Mun?
I wish to discuss with him with his relationship with Count Lao.
Laos. No,
Lao.
not familiar with any Laos, I'm afraid.
That's, in fact, good. I wish to know certain details about that relationship. Certain information we may need from him.
Roll a diplomacy check.
Don't you fucking... 15. 16 on the die.
Well, I'm afraid I'm not at liberty to divulge where Miaknun Mun spends most of his time. I'm afraid, as I said, I haven't seen him in weeks. Probably hasn't even emerged from that infirmary of his.
See his eyes go wide.
Yes,
All right.
he's not emerged from his dwelling.
His dwelling. That's fine. I was not aware of his condition, but we will not discuss any more of it. I apologize for coming in here and interrupting you, but it's like points to the paper and tapping at it. It's a very fine ship you've designed here.
Thank you. Professor. And, should you ever wish to discuss structural engineering or ship designing or things of the like, don't hesitate to stop by again. I've rather enjoyed our conversation.
I do have time for a drink. Maybe two. My shout.
Sure. Perhaps you'd like to take a look at a few of my other plans over a drink.
Certainly. We can discuss anything and everything.
Right. Well, let's head out to the bar then, shall we?
Yes, you lead on. I'm happy to find out where the best drop is here.
As you head back to the dining room and you see you walk into Balthus, Aether, and Heimlich, now tucked into their meals and ales and strange wines that have been served. And they see you walk back in with the gnome Etham in tow.
You really have to try it. It's so good, Gideon. It's really good.
I'm proud of you, Gideon. The heart wants what the heart wants.
I don't actually understand what they mean.
Are these friends of yours?
They are traveling with me. And as you can tell, two of them are quite skilled with... One of them's quite skilled with weaponry. The other one has a interesting personality that can cause, breakages in the air that can cause magical effects. And the other one, quite a pristine gentleman. Pointing towards Heimlich. We traveled here together.
Ah, I see.
Well, are you taking a seat or what?
And I was going to have a chat with the young sir, and I might join you in later. We're having drinks. You're welcome to come, Heimlich. And puts out a hand to stop the others, suggesting coming with us. You two don't need to worry. But Heimlich, if you're interested.
That would be wonderful. Also, there is one quick question I have. Perhaps you know where the infirmary is?
To Etham.
Yeah.
Roll a diplomacy check.
Gideon's just kind of standing between the two, like, I've only just given this information. How does he know? He's scrying on me.
12.
Don't you ruin this for me.
Well, as I've already divulged to your associate here, I'm not at liberty to give up Mr. Munn's address.
No, of course, he did not mean ill will by it.
Mr. Munn.
Oh, of course. No. I made an assumption.
That drink, sir. He kind of puts his hand towards the bar.
Yes. That's, Molly! Just one of the usual, please, and, 2 more for my associates here. Yes, sir.
He said the shots are served up. Some strange purple liquid. So taps it on the table and raises it to you, Heimlich and Gideon. It's like,
yes, I'm sorry, lads, but I can't possibly give up the information you seek to non-members. Confidentiality and all, you know.
Fine. But quite understandable. We're not here to discuss that now, are we? We're here to discuss other business. Structural engineering and that.
Oh, yes, capital.
Heimlich like a nod.
So I'm here to eat and drink.
You're not at the table. Go away. You were not invited. You can go back over there.
Fine.
I raise the glass. And then
Gideon puts it to the side of his mouth and trickles it in.
I down it.
It's easier that way.
he taps it, does it. It appears to be.
This is actually
It appears to be a grape flavored schnapps.
Ooh.
He sort of observes you pouring it into the hole in your face, Gideon's.
I say, how? You don't mind me asking. What happened to your face? Some kind of accident, I assume?
Miscalculation in alchemical means.
Ah,
It did half the job, but then left me like this.
perhaps you should stick to structural engineering, eh? One
Well,
more?
that's exactly what I thought. A few more. Why one?
Yeah.
Another, please, Molly.
She pours 3 more shots. He turns around, raises the glass again. He's like,
Well, to peeling back the veil.
throws it back again, slams it down.
Drinks it.
Need you two to make
Now,
Constitution checks.
can I just before we do this?
Yeah, go on.
I have an ability
Mm.
called where'd it go? I was just looking at it. Poison conversion.
Mhm.
Can we technically call alcohol a poison?
Yes, I will allow that. Yeah.
So as it gets trickled into his mouth, he no, don't worry, takes a minute. Maybe he's storing it up in his mouth. No.
What do you mean it takes a
Don't.
minute?
I can convert what the poison is, so I can turn it from a liquid to a mist or to something like that. So I
Like
was
in
thinking
your
maybe
mouth?
I could hold my breath. Yeah, on.
Oh, you mean that? Oh, sorry, the ability.
Oh no,
where
no,
you,
don't worry, don't worry.
The ability where you change like a
Yeah.
contact poison
Yeah.
to an inhale. Yeah, no, you can't do that in your mouth.
Yeah.
Okay.
No, I was just thinking that's
no,
fine.
don't worry. I'm already going to do absorb toxicity. So I'm gonna basically get hammered as fuck and then touch him. And he'll be hammered as fuck extra.
Oh, him. Hey,
Yep.
all right. Well, I can do a save. I got a plus 6.
Sorry, I
again.
did. I spat out the wrong thing. Fortitude save is what I meant. Not
Yeah.
Constitution.
So
check.
this is a. That's right. It's a plus 13. So
I'm
Wow.
currently immune.
Wow.
so add 6 to that. So 21.
21. Yeah, that's pretty good. You're holding your liquor well. And what Heimlich, how does your absorb
I am
toxicity function?
immune currently to. So you absorb the toxicity of your surroundings, becoming toxic as a result. While under the effect of the spell, you are immune to diseases and poisons with which you come into contact. When you are exposed to a disease or poison, you can choose to absorb it. Doing so ends the immunity, and I don't want to do that. But basically, I take it at the moment, and I can now pass it on within the time frame of the spell. So it's 10 minutes per level. So I have
Right.
100 minutes to wait, and then I can pass on this hugely intoxicating effect.
Alright. He puts the second shot down and then like stands up out of his seat for a second and just sort of like stretches. He's like, well, that went straight to my legs. Being small and all. Oh,
Do you want fun more? And like I put him back down, like kind of like touch him on the shoulder, like to put him back down, and like I pass it on at the same time.
Yeah.
ooh. Roll me a sleight of hand check.
So hold on. All right, so I have to hit him with it. So if you hit the spell is discharged.
Just high five him.
No, it's fine. I can do it. So I was just like.
Don't worry about rolling the hit or anything. It just You're not.
I'll do sleight of
It's
hand.
not gonna. Yeah, just roll a sleight of hand check.
22.
Oh yeah. Yeah. He
Oh.
doesn't even notice. Yeah, you just place him down, and he sits back down. He's like, I certainly stood up too fast and then sat down too fast. Oh,
This is some good stuff.
yes.
Is this
Oh.
is this local?
Now
gonna
imported,
start-
I think. Something up north.
I'm gonna
Elves. Something.
start busting out my my knowledge of what I assume it is based on my my profession, which is brewer, which I've like sunk a couple of things into.
Yeah.
Yeah, can I do a knowledge?
19. I start
19.
Yeah, just kind of like listing off, the finer notes of the flavors and the regions where I think it's from.
Yeah,
Can I do it?
Wonderful drop, yes.
I'm gonna do knowledge local and try and keep this conversation going.
Alright, go.
Is that alright?
Yeah, go for it.
Fucking 36. Yes, the good thing about that wine is the way that it's prepared. You take a certain creature to actually crush those berries and turn them into that alcohol, and they let it ferment inside. And you'll carry on.
Yes, but a structural engineer and a connoisseur of the liquids.
Well, what's better to discuss? How to structurally construct something. If you can't have a drop of ale or a drop of wine with it.
He slaps the bar probably unintentionally hard. He's like, exactly!
Can't remember last time I was this blasted this earlier, lads. You know what? You two, knowledgeable gents, you two should join the order. The Esoteric Knights of Evolvement. Along with me and your friend Mon and the other 11 of us. We can be 15. We'll be 15. Yeah.
That's fair enough. Yeah, yeah. Can I do a knowledge check to see if I've heard of this name of this group before? Or would it be very, very teeny tiny thing that I probably don't know?
Roll a knowledge.
Nobility, local history.
Yeah, say nobility.
Okay. It's one of my low ones, boys. It's only a plus 17. 15 on the die, 32.
32. You recall maybe some mentions of Miaknun Mun in one of Laos's diaries, and that he was in this particular group called the Esoteric Knights of Evolvement. It's basically just.
But there was no mention of. Go on.
So they're basically just like a group of well-connected master alchemists, engineers, shipbuilders, and socialites, basically just dabbling in the esoteric to make their lives more interesting.
Well, how would someone join such an order of that?
Well,
prowess.
you need a recommendation, that's for sure, from one of us, and then let me presented to the group and then voted on whether you should join or not. And perhaps some credentials are always good if you're a professor. And you, Heimlich, you're well, what was it? What was I saying?
You've going to invite us. You're going to give us a recommendation to join.
Oh, yes, that's it, yes, sir. I pronounce you honorary members of the Esoteric Knights of Evolvement until the group votes on it. So, welcome.
We stand up. Well, I stand up and I start clapping.
Wonderful.
Yes, thank you.
I can drink to that.
All right.
I order 3 more drinks.
Load of wank, really. Oh, yes, one more for the road, shall it? Yes. I have to get down to the docks. Have a very important boat to build today. Machinery to operate and tools to,
Can I get the barmaid, please, to overhear the conversation here, so that we are now, in fact, members of the Esoteric Knights?
Yes, Molly!
In fact, I can be your witness.
As she comes over the portal, I'll show you.
Molly, have you met our 2 newest members? Dr. Heimlich von Gideon and Professor Gideon.
Yes. Greetings.
I tip my hat and I raise the glass.
Yes, here, to the knights.
He throws it back again.
Oh, dear.
I might have a cunning plan. Next drink's on me. I'll go up and get them. Is everyone the same? Another round? Perhaps something.
That's it for me, gents. I'm quite sideways, and I have important work to do today for the Talden Navy.
Right.
It was a
Well,
pleasure.
As long as you, stick to the plans, like, I'm sure you'll do fine.
He
Bit of
sort
a
of
do.
stumbles out of his seat and like collects his scrolls one by one. Say, this one here. Yep. Let's have a think. Good. Thank you for a wonderful morning.
Well,
Heimlich, Gideon. I'll
Thank you.
catch up with you soon, eh?
Yeah.
Right, have a good day. Molly! Heimlich here is going to pick up the tab. Turns around and stumbles out of the room.
I just nod and I'm just like, How much food's left at the table?
I mean, whatever you guys didn't
Gideon
eat.
goes over and starts eating his food.
Yeah, sweet. Okay, bye. Sit back down and start eating some more.
I'll eat some of mine. Look, if this doesn't work out, doesn't follow through, at least, we built a rapport. And what I can do, and he pulls out one of his, little bottles and puts it on the table. Remember that time that I drank that thing and I was covered in boils and pustules and, yes, it's quite a horrible experience, but very effective
Remember that
against
time when you and Heimlich drugged me so that I was flying and doing all that crazy stuff?
Exactly. I'm saying we do the same to him. So that he has to go to the infirmary and we have to take him there.
I have already, passed on my fair share of the drinks to him. Could you not tell?
It seemed like he could
He
not take
he
his
looked
liquor.
like he was smashed.
It's
What'd you
quite
do to the poor
about it.
bastard?
He just had a few too many. About twice as many,
You would-
in fact.
There for like 3 minutes. How many drinks could one man? Doesn't matter.
Gnome. Small stature, harder to take the drink. Poor lad.
Right.
Well,
Reached
Gideon
an
and I have managed to become honorary members of this Esoteric Knights.
Is
could-
that why you were clapping?
Yes.
Oh.
This could lead us to where we need to go.
We're an exclusive club, us two. They may have shirts.
You get me one?
No.
Yeah, can
Oh.
wait, can you make us members now?
We
If
are...
we're going to push our luck, I don't think it's worth bothering him again. Yeah, sadly, I'm sorry.
No, but if you're a member, can't you make me a member?
Again, I don't want to push things too far. Let's find our boundaries and just maybe tread near them.
He's just trying to kick us out about this.
No,
He's
not
trying
at
to
all.
find a different group.
Let's make
No.
our own club.
Yeah, like the really cool elf siblings.
Yeah,
Are you crying? I'm sorry. I did not
we
mean
can
it that
speak
way.
Elvish. Can you?
This
No,
breakfast
but
was really good, and then you've gone and... It's okay.
I don't speak Elvish.
Ha! You call yourself
Yes.
academic.
I am. Can you speak Assyrian?
Elvish is the only
Or
language that matters.
Hellish? Infernal? I can speak with demons. Can you speak Ancient Osirian? Varisian? Tian?
I
Sylvan?
say in
Shadow
Elvish to
Tongue?
Aether,
I'm not
but he
finished.
can't speak Elvish.
Aboleth, Apostle, Aklo, Aslanti, common, obviously. And Jizarak.
If we would just say to Balthus, she's like,
Well, so obviously he can't speak Elvish. In Elvish.
Okay,
I
this is the
say-
first time I've managed to do this. I took this feat. I'm now going to roll a DC 25 linguistics check. And I can have a conversation with someone that I don't share a language with. I can. Here.
While he's doing this, I just look
36.
at the fucking Christ.
So I speak back to you in Elven. In very broken, but I speak back to you in Elven. What I did know, a partial, maybe, amount.
I'd say that's a guttural disgrace.
Oh,
In Elvish, obviously.
I say in perfectly fluent Elven, you can have my shirt.
Yes.
You two?
Well, I guess we know
Thought
who's
it
in
was
the
worth it.
Elven club.
All right. Just give me another level.
Well, the day is yours. What do you want to do?
I want to learn Elven. Okay, actually, expanding my extract list. Is there somewhere I can go and travel to in town that happens to be like an alchemy shop or an alchemist shop that I can buy a few recipes from?
As in, like, extracts, like new extracts?
Extract recipes. Yeah, like new recipes for me to know.
Not like discoveries? You mean just...
No, he means like learning, like new, because you can add new extracts to your books, just like wizards can.
Because you've...
Oh,
yeah.
okay, yep.
There may be a way. Is that, what else does everyone want to do? And what's the plan at the moment? What's the game plan?
Well, now that we're members, I kind of wanted to get the information out, because now that we are members, we can find out the location of Mr. Mon.
Gideon might do
His
a
plan
little
is
bit
to
of
start drafting
investigating.
up the rules for the exclusive Elvish Siblings Club. Only 2 members allowed, and their names must be Aether and Balthus.
Wow.
You can be an honorary member if you can speak and understand Elvish, but only if you can do that.
I didn't think it
Well,
was
again,
worth it.
that's-
It's not interesting
You're
at all. It's
saying
just-
that understanding my language isn't worth it?
It's not. No. Elves live for so long, you just can just, converse with them and learn
See,
their
you
stories.
expect us to learn common and converse in your filthy language?
Fuck no. Common is shit language. Assyrian, now that's a language. Writing, that's a different matter. Translating what you speak in Assyrian to actually writing down the hieroglyphics, now that's a task. That's complicated. That's fun. Even worse when it becomes ancient. Oh. Or even, and he starts spouting out ancient and slanty. It's like, dead language. It's fantastic.
But you still can't understand Elvish?
If you're speaking a dead language, is it really dead?
No one.
That's like
That's
a really good question.
How about I keep it alive in this world?
It's like the one about the bear shitting in the woods
Does anyone hear it?
or something. I don't know.
I'll lean over to just gonna start speaking Anklo to Heimlich. But yeah, so that's all I would like to do is go find some more recipes.
This also interests me.
Well, I discuss it with you. I turn to you and I say in Anklo, just.
Well, I don't need to know what they're saying. I have my food and my drinks.
Yep.
In light of Gideon's urge and desire to learn Elvish, I reply in Elvish.
Yeah. I'll go by myself then.
Cool. And what is the, besides like the mundane stuff we're gonna do with the day, what is the plan with getting the information you need?
I assume that Mr. Balor will return to the establishment here during the evening. So probably, asking him additional details then about where we can find Mon.
He seems to be our best source. Seems we sourced him up.
Unless you guys have any other ideas about.
Currently, no. I think this is probably the best place to find somewhere. There's somewhere called specifically the Infirmary. And it sounds like it's a secretive place. Then a secretive organization filled with the Hoffs and Toffs of this city is probably the best place for us to explore. And rather than drawing any more attention to us, walking around town going, "Have you heard of this place?" We know that we can narrow our scope here. We already have a good rapport. So, best option is to comfortably get along with Etham. And yeah, he seems to already enjoy our company, so I think that is our best lead currently. That's my opinion. If you guys think anything else.
No, sounds good.
So yeah, so we will, apart from venturing out to find more alchemical recipes, which we don't have to do tonight, we can discuss another time if we wish. Yeah, we'll just come back here and enjoy being on land. I think that's the main thing that Gideon's very, very happy to have solid feet on the ground, not on a ship. Yeah.
Alright, cool. Well, we
As
might.
a cheeky little prank, though, before we leave, though, just a cheeky little prank. I'm gonna pass on all of my extra alcohol poisoning to Aether.
You were gonna save me. I knew you were gonna save me. Oh.
It's a little practical joke between party members there, a bit of a gag. Well, we might conclude there tonight, guys, and we'll pick it up next week. What up to what level can you guys cast at the moment, alchemists? Is it 4?
4th. I can cast
yeah.
4th. I
Okay,
have 4th
cool.
level extracts.
Well, you can have a look at your extract list, and just let me know what you're looking for, and I'll get back to you next week.
Okay.
Cool.
Sweet.
All right. Well, it's been good to be back. Finally. We'll continue this next Monday.
Oh, I am so glad to be back. Heavy episode, but yeah. Thank you. Josh.
Thank you guys.
Thank you very much.
It's good to be back. Good to be doing some D&D again. So thank you viewers for sticking around. So plans. So obviously Strained Aeons is back on Mondays now. I've got the gears turning for some Friday night stuff, although I might consider shifting to another night very soon instead. So, but things are coming. We got some one-shots coming. We got some small campaigns coming. We got some more guests coming in, and some guests returning. We have, hopefully, late August, we'll be doing the Prelude one-shot for our next Everyone campaign, and we got Dreaded GMs coming back. Dead Aussie Gamers coming back. Phoenixy Wacky's going to be jumping on the channel for the first time in that group. And AJ from Winter's Tale is going to be joining them, completing the party of 4 for the prelude to our next Everyone campaign. And the party of which I am currently building as well. So we got that going on. I got a couple other ideas I'm trying to get going, some one-shots and whatnot. But more on that. And I got the next 2 days off, so I'm probably going to be streaming during the day, working on some Patreon stuff and probably playing Such Art again. So tune in for that, as always. Check out Savage Bear Podcast on Instagram and Spotify and all good streaming apps where you can watch Adam DMing for me, Brayden, and Kyle from our last Everyone campaign. We're having a good time with that.
Yeah.
Oh, and always, as always, don't forget about our 1-year anniversary hot tub stream challenge. We're at 66% raised, 330,000 points out of 500. We're on the home stretch now, guys.
I'd like to do the math because you know how you get like the 50 points per every now and again. I think it's like every 5 minutes you get 50 points. You need to do the math how many hours people have donated.
Yeah. We're going to finish the night with a raid. We're going to raid our boy Michael is an Ewok, who I'll be joining on stream again later this week for another team stream. Basically, just gonna continue our Twitch bromance. And
Oh.
Michael's going to be joining us for some more D&D soon as well. And he's running his D&D campaigns again on Friday nights. His Descent into Avernus, which is very entertaining. I was introduced to the concept of a skin hut.
What? Sorry.
A skin hut. It's a place where a devil was selling things made out of skin in his hut. Yeah, Avernus is a hell of a place.
Okay. So the hut wasn't made out of
Like-
skin.
A hell of a place.
Like
No, the hut. Oh, the hut could have been
cozies.
made out of skin. There's a good chance. All right, we're gonna.
I
go
mean,
raid-
if I was to buy, yeah,
Selling skin items. Sorry.
We're gonna go raid Michael now. Have a wonderful evening, everyone, and I'll see you either tomorrow or the day after when I'm streaming. So, see you then, guys. Bye bye. Oh,
Good.
bye bye.
See you later.
Bye bye. Make sure you spam Michael with some emotes when we get there. It'll be fun.